Where's my clapping? What are these? Someone put up your hand and tell me.
Chopsticks.
You're wrong.
What?
They are a key point in a story that I'm about to tell you today. A story involving everything from bananas to 12-hour flights to my grandma to ultimately undying love and appreciation for those around me. But first, let's just get a sense of what I'm talking about here. Lots of big words. Let's start with myself. Hi, my name's Andrew, and as some of you may know, I am Asian. Allegedly. Hopefully I look the part. I have two wonderful Chinese parents who immigrated here from China many, many years ago. And I'm not like them. Raise your hand if you are Asian. My gosh, I think that's almost the entire room. Now, keep your hand up if you were born here or came here at a very young age. Exactly. I am one of you. I was also born here, and I didn't have the traditional or more culturally tied experiences that my parents or other Chinese kids had. As I'm sure many of you may know, and this story is going to be a bit relatable to you in that case. In stark contrast, that is, to my grandma. Now let's introduce my grandma. Grandma from my dad's side. If there was the definition in person form of the phrase locked the heck in, it would be my grandma. She was one of the first from her family to leave the quiet countryside life to pursue university in a big city where no one she knew had ever gone before. And oh, sorry guys. She was a doctor. Yes, she was a doctor. That's what I was about to say. A renowned doctor in her hometown. And she had been through so much hardship to get to where she was. She flew out from China to Canada the day before I was born just to sit with my parents on the bedside while my mom gave birth to me. And from that point on, she stayed with us for 8 whole years. And it was hard for her, being in a society where everyone speaks a language and really a culture that she didn't know. And it must have been harder for her even more to see her grandson, whose first words were nai nai, grandma in Chinese, who grew up 8 years speaking relatively good Chinese with her, get slowly eaten up by Western society. And when she left to go back to China after 8 years, after constantly extending permits, she couldn't do it anymore. And I really felt this sense of kind of internal guilt, because really, I felt that I couldn't live up to this type of expectation, that I should maybe somehow be more Asian. And that brings us to the chopsticks and the bananas, and that also brings us to 2024 August, when I last went back to China. We had a massive family gathering. When we landed in the airport, we cleared customs and we didn't even go back home. We all just met everyone, hugged everyone, and then grabbed our suitcases and ran to the nearest big hot pot restaurant. And we ate so much stuff, but I had this doubt in the back of my head. These guys, I'm not good at using them. In fact, I rarely ever use them. Some people know because they've been out to eat with me. I don't like these things. These things are my #1 op currently and have been for many, many years. So what happens is I walk into the restaurant and I see all this stuff. There's dumplings, there's a bunch of tofu, a bunch of plated stuff, and of course the hot pot. And I'm formulating this plan. And I'm all like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna carefully stab it in this way so I don't have to pick it up. Because they all tell me every single time, you're supposed to use your middle finger to kind of act as a spacer, but whenever I do that, the top one just slips. And I'm like, what the heck is this? How do I do this? And I feel this disconnect with all of these people who are around me, and I'm trying to pick up this like pork belly or something. I'm trying to pick it up, and I keep missing it, and I keep missing it, and then eventually I drop it on the floor. And it's so embarrassing. Everyone's looking at me, and then my grandma says the following, and I quote, "You are a banana, yellow on the outside, white on the inside." Ouch! In front of 10 family members and even more extended family friends, my God, I was crying. I was breaking down. I was running to the washroom to wash my face, and the water wasn't clean, so I realized I couldn't do that, and I was done. I crashed out. And that night, as I lay in my bed, I heard this conversation that my grandma and my grandpa were having in the other room. And my grandma was sounding exasperated. She said something along the lines of, "Hey, what if you find the Asian girl and her parents find out that he can't use chopsticks? She gonna dump him." And you know what my grandpa said? My grandpa said, "That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. He will find someone that he loves. He will find the correct path for him. And ultimately, it doesn't matter whether or not he's that Asian." And I have immense appreciation for my grandpa. Because honestly, if he didn't say that, I don't know. Maybe I might not be alive today. I would have been consumed by the chopsticks and by my grandma. And that's all I have time for. Thank you. I appreciate it.